What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And Bitcoin has just gotten a rip to the upside right into our $104,000 target that we were looking at on last night's live stream. Now, we just saw Bitcoin do exactly what we were looking at, getting a move above our doorway to higher prices, where we had a lot of liquidity sitting above a previous high. And we knew that once price broke into that level, we would quickly see Bitcoin push into our next key level at $104,000, where we have our next key levels of resistance being a 786 Fibonacci retracement, as well as some other key levels. So in today's video, I want to break down this move, what we saw happen, and exactly where I think price is going next, because as we see some things on Market Cypher B potentially calling for more upside, we could see the continuation of this uptrend. But as we are hitting key resistance, I want you guys to be careful of a potential local pullback. And if we get that pullback, I want to talk about the exact levels of support where I will be looking to potentially add to my long positions in anticipation of Bitcoin continuing to higher prices. I'm going to make this one quick, clear, and concise to give you guys an idea of what I'm expecting here next. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart, and here is Bitcoin sitting right in our target at about $104,700, where we have this next key level of resistance at the 786/ daily and weekly naked points of controls. Now, if you guys tuned into the live stream last night, you will know that we were looking at the top of this golden pocket as our doorway to higher prices in order to see that $104,000 target come in, which you can see happening perfectly right here. We get above that golden pocket, flip it to support. We knew we had this liquidity sitting here, and once we popped into that liquidity, we expected that quick pump into that 786 based off those liquidations sitting above this high, because all these short positions that were sitting with their stop losses above from this previous high at $102,000, once price comes in and pushes up against those levels, those short positions get stopped out. And when you get stopped out of a short position, it very simply creates a market buy order, pushing that price aggressively to the upside. If we push down into the lower time frames, you guys can see here, we hit our head, and as soon as we cracked into this level, we did see that quick fill of liquidations so beautifully. Price is trading so technically right now, guys. We shot right through those liquidations and right into our 786 Fibonacci retracement, and now we are starting to kind of bing bong around in this next key level of resistance. Now, because this is a key level of resistance, we have to be careful of potential pullbacks to come in here. But if we come on over to Market Cypher B on the higher time frames, guys, you will know that we've been specifically looking at this 3-day green dot, potentially calling for this continuation up, because if this green dot gives us that continuation, guys, we may be able to print that bearish divergence, which would make us anticipate a break of the highs here. So this is the bullish case, guys. If we're able to get above this level, we could see a crack of the highs here to complete that 3-day bearish divergence, which would obviously call for a new high to be made. And that next target to the upside that I will be watching, if we're going to break those all-time highs and put in a higher high, I am going to be looking at this Fibonacci extension level between $113,000 and $116,000. Now, we did use this same exact strategy to call for the new highs being made on XRP. As we saw that 3-day green dot printing, we anticipated that bearish divergence, which was likely to be put in on that next Fibonacci extension level. And the next day after that, guys, we broke that doorway to higher prices. XRP shot into that extension level, putting in that higher high right into our key level of resistance. So I am doing the same thing here on Bitcoin, trying to front run that bearish divergence to potentially call for a break of the highs. Now, I know that seems really exciting, guys, but you have to remember this is key resistance. So we are going to be looking for short confirmations up here. I'm going to break down the lower time frames for you guys really quickly. We don't necessarily have a ton of bearish confirmations just yet. If we do see those confirmations come in the premium Discord, we will be looking to take a short position, but this does not mean that I am overall bearish on Bitcoin, because like I said, if that higher high is going to be made based off that 3-day green dot, we may be able to just get a little bit of a cool off here before putting in a higher high and continuing our uptrend into our higher levels and hopefully into those new all-time highs. So if we do get a correction here, guys, I want to be clear. This is strong resistance. I know it's exciting to look up towards $113,000, but the corrections here are not impossible. So if we see that pullback, I want to talk about the key levels that I will be looking at in order to potentially add to my long positions. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come over to the 1-hour time frame, and I am very simply going to pull my Fibonacci retracement from this last little pullback that we had into our POC, which was the key level we gave on our live stream, for a local pullback and a potential continuation higher. I'm going to pull from that swing low up to our our current high here, and you can see we have some confluence between our previous value area high and our golden pocket retracement. So this is going to be a very, very key level of support that I will be looking at if we are able to catch that potential scalp short position. I will be looking for price to first come down into this key level, sitting between $100,800 and $100,000 even, because if we're going to put in a higher low and continue breaking structure to the upside, potentially targeting those exciting prices towards the all-time highs, this would be a very key level I'd be interested in potentially adding to my long position. It was the same thing back here. We pulled our Fibonacci retracement. We had that golden pocket confluence sitting right here on that POC of the range that wound up being the area to put that higher low in and continue our uptrend. It is the same exact theory here, but we are just moving that fib up to our current significant swing low. And I am still holding a portion of this long position here, guys, over on Femex. I have locked in profits here, obviously, as we've technically hit final take profit. But as you guys know, when we trade these volume profiles, we hit those major targets, we take profit, we move our stop loss in case that range trade does turn into a home run, which does look like that may be the case here, as we did get that continuation up through those liquidations into our next $104,000 target. Now, I will be taking some more profits here, but hopefully we can get a little bit of a cool off into these key zones of support to potentially add to that long position. In case we do take those all-time highs, we can continue to profit off that original position. So be careful here, guys. We're going to watch and see what happens up here. Hopefully we could get something like this to happen. I would love to add to my long position down here for a continuation up, but I'm going to be looking at price like a hawk up here. We'll see what happens. I am simply sitting on my hands and waiting for those confirmations. And if I don't get those confirmations, I simply don't take the trade, guys. But if we get them, you bet your bottom dollar we will be taking that short. But I am going to treat it as a potential scalp position, taking probably some significant profits here at that golden pocket in case we do put in that higher low. We could grab a little bag here, just like we did on this little pullback. We held our long, capitalized on that little short position in the premium Discord, which wound up playing out in full down to that POC absolutely beautifully. We catch that little bag to the downside, hold that long for the continuation up, and here we are sitting at 104K. So it's the same thing. We get that little pullback. We're going to be looking at that as a scalp, and then hopefully we can add to our long position and get that continuation to the upside. So guys, with all that being said, that's all the time I got for today's market update. Let's watch these key levels. We're at resistance. Hopefully we can just push through. But again, if we get those confirmations, we can capitalize on that small move to the downside. Perks of being a trader and being in the Candle Mafia, making money trading Bitcoin, whether price goes up or down. So guys, that's all the time I got for today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out. Here we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor.